Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about a little something that I am privileged to discuss with my clients that are going through the immigration process. I love to share this story of um, God's law and God's promise. And it goes a little something like this, okay? So usually this is in Spanish. I'm going to try it out and see how it flows in English. But if I jump into my Spanglish, I'm sorry. I hope you can understand it either way. All right. So you see, in this life, guys, there's a universal law. It's God's law and God's promise. And God's law and promise actually says the same exact thing. It says that what you plant, you reap, right? And the way it is like this. God said that the seed that you plant, if you plant a lemon seed, you cannot expect to reap anything else besides lemons. You can't plant a lemon seed and expect to reap avocados or apples or money, right? You can't expect to reap anything other than what you plant. And it's God's promise also, because He said, if you want lemons, plant a lemon seed, and I promise that you will not be surprised with anything other than what you plant. If you want lemons, plant lemons and you will get lemons. Okay? Then I proceed to ask them, do you know that in the Bible it says that God gave us all power and authority to take dominion over this experience of life that we have, to take dominion here on earth over everything? He gave us all power and ability to create life in abundance, in good health, and to prosper. So, if God gave us all this power, why do so many people continue to live in poverty, or sick, depressed, unhappy? And the reason, okay, that I found is that because even though so many people know the law, they've heard it, they know that what we plant is what we reap. They know that what we put out is what we get back. So many people say it in so many different ways, but for the majority, pretty much everybody understands this concept, right? If I'm good, it should go good for me, and for those who are bad, well, we expect things to go bad for them, right? But there's so much more behind the law of planting and reaping. And this is exactly our power and ability to create that life of abundance that God speaks about in the Bible. Okay? So here's a little example that I use with my clients, and I hope you can relate in one way or another. I really believe you will be able to. All right. My clients have traveled here from a different country, right? Some of these clients have come and taken a week to get here, and some of them have shared stories with me that it's taken them years to get here, okay? Either way, the struggle was there, the hardship was there, and the life before was really rough, okay? All of them have come to the United States in search of something better, an opportunity, all right? So I like to use this example with them. The law says that what you plant is what you reap. So we gotta understand that in order to plant and reap, there has to be a seed. And that seed has to be planted underground, right? That seed will start to grow roots downward from the ground, and little by little start to grow upward until it breaks through the ground and it starts to form a little tree. Little by little, as time passes, it keeps forming into what it's going to be until finally we get a result, right? Lemon seed, lemons on the fruit tree, right? All right. So there's a seed and there's a process of growth which takes time, and then a result. Seed, growth, result. Yes? Yes. All right. Well, just like that, for us, there has to be a seed. There has to be a seed that we have to plant. So the first thing is understanding what is the seed for us humans. For us humans, what is the seed? And it's this. Tell them, you were in such and such country. Okay? For whatever reason it is that you wanted to come here, you thought that day, and maybe you had thought it before, but this time it was a little bit different, actually very different, because you didn't only just think it, okay? You didn't just think, I'm gonna leave to the United States. You made a definitive decision. I'm leaving to the United States. You may have thought it before, but this time you decided that at this time you were really, really, really going to leave. And that is what forms what is the seed for us. It is a thought combined with a definitive decision, a choice, a decision. Yes, I'm leaving to the United States. At that very moment, the seed is planted. And just like the other seed that's planted in the ground, this seed is planted inside of us here in our mind. Okay? Now, just like the other seed, this seed too has to grow roots. Roots grow downward. Okay? And that process for us looks like this. First, more and more thoughts start to join that initial thought. For them, it looks like this. What am I going to need? How much money is it going to take? Who do I need to talk to? Who can guide me? And some people think like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm actually going to do this. Oh my gosh, it's scary. Oh my gosh, but all these thoughts start coming to that initial thought of I'm leaving to the United States. And what happens for us is when we start thinking like that, all these thoughts, we start imagining what we're thinking. And I ask them, do you remember imagining the person when you said, who do I need to get a hold of? That person came to mind, or a name. How much money? What clothes? And you imagine yourself preparing for this trip. And that imagination, that image of getting ready to leave, of everything you have to do to take this voyage from where you live to the United States, it sparks something else inside. And that is an emotion, several emotions. These people feel fear. They feel anxious. They feel sad. They're going to separate from everything they've ever known to go to a country they don't know anything about, right? And all of these emotions are taking place. And you know what emotions do in us? They start here and they travel down, and we can feel it in our tummy. We can feel excitement all the way to our tummy. We can feel sadness, fear, anger, all of our emotions. We can feel them all the way to our tummy. Okay? And that is exactly how our seed forms the roots. It forms down all the way to our tummy. And just like the other seed, it has to take its voyage back up and break through to be out, to come out into this reality of a world that we see. That seed breaks ground and we see a little tree starting to form. Us, we send it out in our words. We speak it. The moment we speak it, it's no longer just inside of us. We have put it out into the universe. We have put it out into this world. We can hear it, right? And God says this in the Bible, that we have the power of life and death in our words, on our tongue. Yes. And at this point, for so many of those people who decided, who thought, I need to leave to the United States. It's too scary here. There's no opportunity here. My kids are in danger. I need to leave. They decide that they're going to leave. But then they speak and they say, what if this happens? And I don't have enough money. And what if I don't make it? And what if this or what if that? And their words are so powerful in damnation that their seed dies. They don't even take the voyage. They are paralyzed with fear and they stay right there. That seed dies right there for those who don't end up taking the voyage. But there's so many people who say, I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know everything in detail, but I know I need to leave. In one way or another, I'm going to get there. They start preparing. They get their bags, their clothes, the food, the money. They get in contact with the right people. They get informed. And the day comes that they open the door and they leave. Some of them never to return. Some of them never to see their family ever again. At least not in person anyways. But they leave. And for the week or the years that it takes for them to get here, they go one day at a time, one night at a time, one meal at a time. There's people who go hungry, who are thirsty, who don't eat for days. Travel like this. And it's hard. That trip is so hard for them. And you know what? They keep going anyways. The moment for them arrives where they reap what they one day sowed. They arrive to the United States. The day they arrive in the United States is the day that they reaped what they sowed. The day they thought, I want to leave to the United States, and decided, yes, I'm leaving to the United States. It wasn't just the journey itself. It wasn't just the days it took them or the nights it took them. It wasn't just the physical preparation. It was a seed that was planted in the mind, that was envisioned and felt, spoken of with life, and acted upon. Now, during that journey, these clients of mine did something so spectacular, so magical, okay? And this is what carried them through those moments of struggle, those moments of sadness, of fear, of anxiety. And that's that they activated their faith. They activated their faith. And God says that with the faith the size of a mustard seed, you shall move mountains. And faith is what carries us in those moments in life where it gets hard, where we're sad, where we go through depression, where things get rough. Faith, believing that there's just something better out there for us, that something awaits us, that we asked for and prayed for. It's there. I believe it. And faith helps us to keep going one step at a time, one step further, one day closer, one moment closer until we arrive. They arrive to the United States. And I love being able to share that example with my clients. It's an example that I know that they can relate to, but not just them. How many people, how many of us take journeys from one place to another? How many of us have struggled through that journey? You see, we got to know that God said, I am the road. I am the way. I am the path. You see, God said, where do you want to go? And then he created the pathway for them to come. He assured that whatever money they needed, whatever people they needed to get in contact with, whatever they needed for that journey, he was going to provide the right time when it was most needed. You see, God didn't say it would be easy, but he promised not to abandon us. And God said, what you plant, you shall reap. Knock and the door shall be answered. Okay? When you pray, pray in thanksgiving, believing that I have already given you what you are praying for. All right? If we don't take the journey that we set forth to get to, who's going to do it for us? It's our responsibility to decide, where do we want to go? What seed are we going to plant in this life? What seeds are we going to plant in our garden of life? What seeds am I going to intentionally plant? And it's our responsibility to tend the ground, to take care of our seed, to take the steps forward, to take the journey on, to move in action and do whatever it takes to get what we want in this life, to reap what we plant. Don't leave your seed in the ground and walk away from it. Don't get distracted by other people's gardens, other people's plantings, other people's journeys. Focus on where you're going. Take care of what you planted so you can reap the life that you want. If we don't do it, it's not anybody else's responsibility to do it for us. And I have another example, but I'll share that one with you guys on the next video. I hope you guys have liked this example of planting and reaping, of God's law, of what we plant is what we reap, of God's promise. I hope you guys have enjoyed this and it's made sense. And if it has, please don't forget to hit the like or comment on the comment section below, subscribe, and you know, just stay tuned. As always, I send you guys a lot of peace and love. It's your girl, La Transformer, transforming people's lives, taking them from where they are to where they really want to be. And I'm always here. If you guys want to set up an appointment for a session, get at me. Peace and love. Ciao.